oh, she's posting online. She's telling us to be confident. She's telling us to do this. She's telling us what outfit she's wearing. You've not seen her? My parents call me.
Oh my gosh.
We took you to the US to study. What is this thing we're hearing about you being online? Telling people to live their best life. You should be living your best life at that school. So when that started happening, it was kind of like where I was also coming to a crossroads where I was like, should I continue with corporate America and continue with what I'm doing, or should I go full time with social media?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Naked Beauty. Hello, hello. It's Brooke Devard, and you're listening to the Naked Beauty Podcast. I am joined by Achieng Agutu, a creator, model, host, and confidence queen. The Kenyan born star gained traction online when she started posting daily affirmation videos. In 2024, Achieng had her own spread in Sports Illustrated as a swim rookie, and this year she's back gracing the pages of Sports Illustrated swim issue. Those pictures looked gorgeous. You just hit 1 million followers on TikTok.
Yes.
You're almost at 900,000 on Instagram, but huge global following. Achieng's influence is undeniable, and her rise is confirmation that spreading positivity can really get you far. Achieng, welcome to Naked Beauty.
Thank you so much, Brooke. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to talk to you. I think, the show is all about beauty, and you to me are one of these people, like, yes, you are physically gorgeous. You've got gorgeous features, a gorgeous body, but your spirit, I really feel like it's your spirit that makes you beautiful and makes people feel so attracted to you.
Thank you. I think, well, girl, coming from you, you're the diva of the divas, so that means a lot. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
I want to get into your whole story.
Yes.
I'm dying to go to Kenya. I have not spent time in Kenya.
Girl.
I know. I need to be on the beaches. I need to do the whole thing.
Yes.
So I think it was Sabrina Elba. She was telling me that like Kenya has the best beaches in the world, and
the best beaches, the best food, the best weather, the best people, the best everything. I think if you're going, let me know.
Okay,
And
I will let
Sabrina
you know.
know so we can all go
I will
together.
let you know.
Yes.
I'm always so curious to talk to Black people who grew up in majority Black countries about their experience with beauty growing up. And I also know that you moved to the Midwest in your formative years, but I want to hear about growing up in Kenya. Did you feel beautiful? Was your beauty affirmed?
Yes. So I grew up in a very conservative family.
Okay.
Where simplicity was closest to purity and closest to God.
Okay.
And so I just we never really focused on like the way, I don't want to say the way you look, but like beauty, it was kind of like the simplicity of who you are and your character that is what kind of like was most reveled on.
Were you expected to be modest as well?
Very.
Okay.
Very, very modest. And I tell this story all the time, which was when the first time I was moving to the US. It was the night before I left. And my mom took me to go do micro braids in my hair. And it kind of looked like yours.
Okay.
And it was gorgeous. And it was like kind of like a little braid. And then it was like let go of and kind of looked like I don't know how to describe it, but just exactly the way your hair looks right now. And I had it up in a bun. And I was in my uncle's house in Nairobi, and my cousins were like, oh my God, your hair looks stunning. We want to see it like down. And I was terrified to like let my hair down because I thought it looked too much. And so when I let it go down, they were like, oh my God, that hair looks so beautiful. You should wear it more like this when you're there. And I was like, I just think it looks like too much. And they were like, too much? Baby, just have your hair let your hair down. And I think it was very telling of it literally and figuratively, where I was just terrified to like kind of let go and
take up space.
And so I was raised very modest and humble, quote unquote, and to not speak up and kind of just like the smaller you are, the better.
Interesting.
And I think that's just because of the community we were raised in. I think I also was with parents who wanted to be rebellious a little bit and wanted us to, me and my brother, to kind of live different lives. And that's why they kind of like pushed pushed us out of the nest at 16 and 17 and said, go out,
Go live
leave.
abroad.
Like there's something better for you out there. And I think they knew that the community we were living in at that point would not get us to where we are right now.
Interesting. Who were your beauty icons growing up? Like, who did you look at? And what year were you born in?
I was born in 96.
96.
Yes.
Okay. So by the time you were like, I don't know, 10 and like aware of what was going on, it was what, like 2006? Like, who did you look
Yeah.
at and think like, oh, I want to be like her when I'm older?
It was a lot of people in my family.
Okay.
I really was, and I'm still very obsessed with my mother.
Yeah. Your mom and dad are so fab, by the
They're
way. We
so
see them on your
cool.
TikTok. They're so cool.
They're so cool. I really was and still am very obsessed with my mom and the way she carries herself. She has such a powerful story of how she got to where she is today.
What's her story?
My mom kind of like has a little bit of the same story as me, but she was raised in a conservative family as well. She was the oldest. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby. I have princess tendencies. Shout out to my parents for treating me like that. But my mom was the oldest and kind of had to fend for her siblings, and she was not living in a great living situation and comes from very, very humble beginnings. And there was a point in her life exactly when she was 16, which is exactly when I left Kenya to come to the US. But when she was 16, she was like, something has to change and I need to leave this space. And so she ran away from home and she took whoever could make it with her.
Wow.
And she ran away to the city and kind of just like started her life there and lived many
What did she do for work?
She worked at hotels, like really fancy hotels, as like a cook and a waiter and, kind of like the staff around the hotels, and did that for a really long time. And she was about to actually leave the country, which, Mom, I don't even know if I'm telling you tea, but she was about to leave the country with somebody, but then she was like, oh my God, if I leave, who's going to take care of my siblings and my family and all these things? So she left where she was and went back to Kisumu, which is now the home where she was from. And she worked at a high school there as the equivalent of a lunch lady. And my father at the time was just like young guy who was just like living his best life and was there as a soccer coach.
Oh.
And he would bring his team like on certain days to come and eat, and everybody would be like, oh, Miss Anne, hey, Mr. Agutu is here, all these things. And they kind of became friends like that and, dated and got married, and here we are.
Here we are.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Now, moving to the Midwest, I'm sure that was a culture shock.
Girl. Like, my only experience of the US was like Disney Channel and like High School Musical.
Okay, so what were you expecting versus what it was giving?
Girl, I was expecting jocks to be dancing on the tables, people to be bursting out of music. I was like, honey, this is America. This is the US. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm at lunch, nobody's putting their head in the game or whatever. Nothing. It was kind of disappointing, but, I had only had an experience of the US through television. Right. And so my very first time coming here, I was very excited. I was very, very, very excited. My parents were a little afraid because I'm the youngest, I'm the last born, and they're the only girl. And so they had a lot of pushback from the community, from my family, saying like, why would you let this baby, this child, go to another country? For what? Like, you can keep her here and take care of her, and she can go to school and be close to you. And my parents were like, no, they really did believe there was something better out there for me than what I was experiencing. And it's true.
Yeah.
And so when I moved to Indiana, the first few weeks were just kind of like euphoria. Like, I was just so excited to be there. This is my first time away from my family. I'm in a different country. I'm experiencing new things, and new people, new food, new fashion, new ways of life. Like, it was just so exciting for me. It was like freedom, like I could do anything. And I lived with an amazing host family who were our family friends in Kenya who moved to the US. I actually moved back with them.
Okay.
And I lived with an amazing host family and my host mom, Eden, who passed 2 years ago.
Yes, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, she was such a fabulous woman and someone who really helped me get out of my shell. And like, from the simplest thing of when we went out to eat, she would say, like, you can order for yourself. I'm not gonna order for you. Like, you can say what you want and you can get it. Or, she would give me like, $100 and say like, you can decide how you want to use this money. You can save some, you can use some, you can donate, you can put it in tithe. You have choices. And I think that was so huge for me because somebody gave me the opportunity to have a choice. Like I could decide.
Yes.
And so that those first few weeks felt like that. Like I have all this freedom and I have a choice and I can do all these things with myself. And then reality kind of like started to set in where I was like, you're far away from your family.
Yes.
This is not your home. This is not the food you eat. This is not the life you're used to living. And it kind of,
And I would imagine Indiana's not very diverse
it's
as well.
not.
So, because I'm always so interested, I think high school is such a pivotal time for coming into yourself, figuring out your own beauty, your own identity. And when you go from a place like Kenya, where you see Blackness all around, to a place like Indiana, where I'm sure you were one of very few,
Yes.
it must have been a big shift.
It was a big shift. And people would say like, oh, you have an accent. And I'm like, no, you have an accent.
Right.
Or how I dressed or what I ate or, kind of like the life experiences I had was not the same as them. And I remember just trying to fit in because there was no one who looked like me or talked like me or had the same life experiences that I had. And sort of like the homesickness started to kind of like really, really fall in, like probably 2 months into trying to figure out how I fit in here, who I am. Like, am I speaking weird? Like, why are people telling me I speak weird? Or why are people saying like, that's not what you're supposed to be wearing? Or that's not how you're supposed to be eating? Or that's not what you're supposed to be talking like? And as in, it was tough. And the thing is that then I was now just looking at the people around me for some kind of acceptance. And so if that meant like, I would only straighten my hair, regardless of how crispy and burnt it was, I would do that. Or that I would wear a foundation color that was not the same color as me, or I would do my nails a certain way or wear my outfits a certain way just so I could feel seen.
Yeah.
Or like feel respected and not feel like an outcast or like, yeah, just unseen. Because I was 16.
Yes.
And to be 16. And I think it was my host mother who was like just like noticing that I was changing in a way that she had not seen me before, because we had been really good family friends in Kenya. So she had experienced me in my life in Kenya and then experienced me in my life in the US. And there was one time I came home and I said, I ain't gonna do that. And she said, no, it's not you. And she said, oh my God, like, oh, my little Kenyan girl, she's getting lost. And I was like, she said that to me. And I was like, honestly, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, I think I was trying to fit in so bad. And I think that's when I was also just realizing I was losing myself. Like, I wasn't myself. I would talk to my parents and they would be just so, they wouldn't feel me. They could hear me but not feel me. And my parents were like so afraid for a long time. I would always talk to my host mom and be like, is she okay? What's happening? And
so I'm so curious, this jump from growing up in a family where modesty was such a value and you were kind of meant to take up less space, then going to the US, feeling like an outcast, feeling different, trying to fit into the phenomenon that you are now, which your brand is all about standing out, being yourself, taking up space. What has that journey been? And when did the content creation come into it?
It's been tough, I'm not gonna lie. It's been hard. I think Kenyan culture is not Kenyan culture, but like, yeah, most Kenyan people are like, what will somebody say? Like if I took you, as a parent, like if I took you to the best schools and did all these things and you end up posting on Instagram, what will people say? And I think that's what my parents were kind of trying to deal with, and I was trying to deal with too, that I would disappoint my parents. And I felt like I've always been this person. I've been I was the rebellious child, you know. My older brother was always so straight laced and had everything set, you know, straight A student, head boy, did the best things, and I was kind of just like hanging out and chilling, and I was like, you know, even though my parents were like, you have to be so modest, I would like get to school and like roll up my skirt and you know, roll up my sleeves and let, you know, like try and like do a little hair thing, even though like I knew somebody was going to say something. I would be like, I was afraid to like express that version of myself. I think I had always been
Mm.
like loud and strong-willed, and I think it was society and the people in my life being like, you can't be that. You have to be this kind of person. You have to be soft spoken and you can't be loud and you can't express yourself in these ways. I think I'd always been like that and just been in a place that suppressed me. And when I came to the US and kind of had the opportunity where I was like with somebody who I really respected and loved, my host mom, when she gave me the opportunity to say, you can order for yourself. You can decide what you want to wear. You can decide when you want to go to bed. You can decide what you want to eat and all these things. I think it was just like me being like, whoo, girl, I'm free. You know, it was just me kind of like now fully living in my essence. And I think that was hard for my parents, um, because it felt like unlike who they knew I was. And it felt like to them that I was steering away from the things that and the values that they had instilled in me all these years.
Yes.
And it took a long time. And
When did the content creation begin?
the content creation began in 2017. I did not tell anyone. I did not tell my family.
Okay.
My brother, who is one of my biggest supporters and one of my favorite people in the world, started seeing me on Instagram posting about my favorite lip gloss. And he was like, girl, what are you doing? Achieng? What are you doing? People are going to see you. What are people going to think? And he started seeing it. I was not telling anyone. Like, honestly, I was like even trying to block some of my family members, being like, don't even follow me, don't even see me. And my parents are not big social media people. And so I was just able to kind of like live that part of my life and still, you know, do my work as an admissions counselor and all these things and just have them see that and not see the social media work I was doing. So in 2017 it started and I kind of just like continued to like post about my love for life and affinity for living and the things that like brought me joy. And so then when it started to come up was when I was in grad school in Boston in 2019. The school that I was at was like, oh, we see you're popping on Instagram. What's going on there? I was like, oh no, I'm just living my life. And then people in our community started seeing me and following me and started talking to my parents about it and say, hey, Mr. Agutu, I'm seeing Achieng Agutu. Is that your daughter? That's my daughter. What do you know about her? Oh, she's posting online. She's telling us to be confident. She's telling us to do this. She's telling us what outfit she's wearing. You've not seen her? My parents call me.
Oh my gosh.
We took you to the US to study. What is this thing we're hearing about you being online? Huh? Telling people to live their best life. You should be living your best life at that school. So when that started happening, it was kind of like where I was also coming to a crossroads where I was like, should I continue with corporate America and continue with what I'm doing, or should I go full time with social media? And it was months of talking and telling them like, yeah, I'm no longer going to be doing the job I was doing.
This is my path.
This is my path. I really want to focus on this. And it was terrifying for them for a long time because they were like, I think Instagram can disappear tomorrow and then you're jobless. And that was scary for me. But I just, I think at that point in my life, I was already going through my own like self-confidence and self-love journey and feeling like my parents have already lived their lives and they're living it already. And I think they were trying to kind of dictate what I needed to do and what I could do and couldn't do. And that was exhausting. I wasn't happy. I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel excited about anything. And honestly, when I did it, the only person I told was my brother. And I told them months later after I switched my visa to my current visa right now. And they didn't even say anything. They said, okay.
Yeah, and now I know you've taken them to five-star hotels and resorts, and they've seen the fruits of your labor, so I'm sure now
Yeah.
they're like, it's paid off.
Oh, no, now it's definitely paid off. My very first check, I sent it all to them.
Aw.
And my dad was like, "Okay, good." They were very excited. But I think right now they're just, after they've like seen me living this
Mhm.
life and kind of like doing what I'm doing, I'm so happy with what I do.
Yes.
I love my platform so much. I love what I do. I love that I can connect with such amazing, iconic people like you and share spaces with people I've only looked up to. And so I think that's special and that I can inspire people to do something
Yes.
exciting with their lives.
I was gonna ask that because as I hear you talking, I think what's clear is you had to have the confidence to build the life that you wanted to have
Yeah.
and that you're living your dream right now. Why is it important to you to inspire other people? Like, why has kind of the queen of confidence been the angle that you've really kind of built your social media audience around?
I think it's because I I lived a life where I didn't feel good about myself. I did not feel excited about waking up. I did not feel happy. And that was exhausting. And I know there's people out there who have felt the way I felt. And if I had someone like me to kind of just motivate me or just tell me like, girl, you can do it, or just like, this doesn't have to be the life that you live. This doesn't have to be the end all. Like,
Mm.
there is more beautiful days, there's more life, there's more exciting things that can happen in your journey. Like, that would have completely changed my life. And I think I had to be that for myself. And something I always talk about with my parents and my family's purpose. And I, for a long time, was looking for some kind of purpose for myself. And that if my purpose in this journey of life is to help someone or make someone feel good and excited about doing something exciting with their wild, beautiful life, then why not? And I
Yes.
think that's something that brings me joy. I want to, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional.
No, I mean, you are living your purpose and you are helping so many people in ways that you probably don't even comprehend, or maybe you do comprehend and that's why you are getting emotional.
Yeah. And I think that for me, it's all about purpose. I really want to make people feel something, and especially Black women.
Yes.
I want Black women to feel the world and feel excited and feel happy about being alive and making a difference and influencing the culture and making things shake and move and shake status quos and make history. I think there's so much potential out there, and for me, that's what it is. I want to do this because I want people to feel that,
Yes.
like, because I've felt it, and my journey is still growing, and like, it's just, I always say it's just the beginning for me, because I think I'm just on the, just like the, what is that? Well,
The pinnacle, the
the
peak.
peak, yes,
Yes.
of what could be happening with my journey and my brand and the people I could see and touch and reach, and people's lives I could change. I'm not Gandhi, okay? But I feel like if I can make someone feel excited about doing something with their lives today, I think that's where it's coming from
We
for
feel
me.
it. We
Yeah.
feel it. We see you in Sports Illustrated and we're cheering you on. And when we
Ah,
see you in these rooms and with these opportunities, it is like you are doing it for more than just yourself. You are representing for Black women in such a powerful way.
thank you.
And, you know, I can't remember. It was some interview that someone was asking you about, like, oh, you're so confident. And your response was like, you're like, well, why wouldn't I be confident? Look at me.
Yes, yeah.
Look at me, you know? And it's like, that's how we should all feel.
Honestly, because I think people wonder why I feel like that. Like, why not?
Why not?
Like, why not? Like, what is the option then for me to not feel like that? Like, that is not an option for me. Like, I only want to experience life to the fullest. I fully understand that I have one life. Like, we don't get a redo. We don't get a second chance. This is it.
This is it.
This is it. Like, and I fully understand that. Like, if I do something, I do it to the max. I do it to the best. Girl, if I'm on a first class flight, I am making sure I'm experiencing everything, okay? If I'm here with you, like, I'm making sure that I am experiencing everything. If I am indulging in like food, I'm making sure I'm experiencing everything. If I'm living my life, I'm making sure I'm experiencing anything, everything.
Mm.
There is no other option apart from that for me.
Yes.
And I really want people to feel that, because you have, like, you truly have one life. You live every day and you die once.
Yes.
And
for people that are struggling with self-love or confidence, what tips for people that are just listening to this and they're like, I want to be on your level of confidence, where can they start?
oh, that's a good question. I would probably say you have to kill your inner mean girl or inner mean boy. Whatever it is, you have to kill that version of yourself inside of you.
That self-critical voice that a lot of people have.
Yes, it is the one thing that held me back from a lot of the things that I was doing.
What did the voice say to you?
You can't do that. Or I feel like a lot of my criticism was like, how did you even get here? Like, what are you even doing here? Or like, that is so weird and embarrassing and cringy. And I feel like for me, I think that is, I had to push past that so much. Like, I walk in downtown Brooklyn in a face mask. I go shopping at Chanel and Ferragamo in a face mask, and I don't care. You know? Like, and the thing is that, like, for me, it's like, this is what's good. I need to do my skincare. I also want to shop. I also need to go get some groceries. Also, like, that's just like the way I'm living, right? But then there would be a part of me, if I did not end that version of myself, I'll be like, girl, that person is looking at you and thinking you're so weird and embarrassing. That is so cringy. Or like, if I was in a space where I was like feeling like, oh, this is so cool, I'm here, there would be like an inner voice being like, how did you even get here? Like, what did you even do? Like, these other people around you are so much better. Like, what are you doing here? And I had to fully remove that version of myself.
Yes.
I am my biggest hype woman, and I think that is what you need to do. You need to exterminate your inner critic, and you need to be your biggest hype woman, hype person. That will completely change your life.
Yes.
Like, people, like, if I post myself in a bikini, like, even when they posted me for Sports Illustrated, people were like, oh yeah, but she has stretch marks and her fupa is big, whatever, and her stomach is big. And like,
and I'm in
honey,
Sports Illustrated.
And I'm in Sports Illustrated. And I look good and I feel good and my skin is glowing, baby. And I'm in Bermuda living my best life. Like, this is exciting for me.
Right.
Like, I think the reason I say bestie all the time is because I want people to understand how you can also talk to yourself as your own friend. I'm my own bestie. I would never talk to my best friend in a bad way. Like, I will call you out and call you in. But if you come in and you're like, "Ugh, I just don't even feel good and I don't look beautiful," you are the baddest bitch I know. You are gorgeous. You're fantastic.
Right.
And you need to speak to yourself like that. Like,
Yes.
and I think there's a sweet spot of like trying to just pull yourself out of the miry clay and bring yourself up. You deserve it.
Yes.
You really, really, really deserve good things.
I love that. Speaking to yourself like your own best friend. Like, that is so beautiful.
Yes.
Now we got a little bit into skincare, and like we
Yes.
need to really get into it because the skin is skinning, it is glowing, just
Getting to it.
you all like the way your skin reflects the light. I always say that the sign of healthy skin is when it reflects the light. It's just glowing. Like, your skin is amazing.
Thank you.
So I need to know, before we even get into the nightly and daily skincare routine, what are the treatments you're doing? What are the like special things that you do for your skin?
Okay. So I don't do so many special things for my
Okay.
skin. I don't know. I think I have an extensive skincare routine.
Okay. So
Like
because
I
that's how I am. I'm more, people ask me about lasers and Botox, and I'm like, I'm not doing all that crazy
I'm
stuff.
not doing
Not that
that.
that's crazy. People do whatever you want.
Yes, do whatever you want,
But
please.
but for me, I feel like skincare is really my realm where I do the most.
I'm obsessed with skincare.
Okay, same.
I feel so like even today I'm not doing too much with skincare. I just did like an under eye and a blush. I don't know how I'm looking at the camera.
You look great.
Thank you, baby.
You look great.
But I'm so obsessed with skincare. That is like where I feel the most confident.
Yes.
And it was my skincare was kind of also where I started to like really look at myself and look at my face, as I actually used to be kind of afraid to look at my face
Interesting.
like for long periods of time. And when I do my skincare now, I really indulge in it. I think it was because like with culture, it was like if you look at yourself too much, you're so vain. And so I was actually like afraid to look at my face for a long time until I got into skincare.
Interesting.
And right now,
Yeah, take me through the current nighttime routine.
Okay. So I always do a cleanse, a double cleanse, an oil cleanse from Kiehl's.
Okay.
Stunning. And then I also do the Fenty, I can't even think of the name right now, but the Fenty cleanser.
Okay.
Which I really love. And I feel like it just does a good pore cleanse, and it's
double cleansing is life changing. Like you just need, if you wear makeup, if you wear sunscreen, you need to double cleanse.
You have to.
And
I feel like people don't think that you need to do that.
You need to.
And by double cleanse, it's not like wash your face twice. It's an oil cleanse.
Cleanser, and then you can do a foam cleanser, a gel cleanser, a cream cleanser. I love a foam. I love an oil. I like an oil or a balm followed by a foam cleanser.
Ooh, I've not done a balm. I've only done an oil.
Okay.
But I feel like the foam is like the action is already happening.
Yes. Okay, so your skin is clean. So then what?
Skin is clean, and then I would go in with the Vino Perfect from Caudalie.
Okay, the girls love this serum. I need to get into it.
Babe.
I know.
You have to effective immediately.
I know.
It is so delicious. It has your skin looking plump and juicy. And I want my skin to feel like that when I'm going to bed. I want to look like a rotisserie chicken. Yes. Like really just basted.
Yes.
Like a good Thanksgiving turkey. Yes, I really want that. Actually, wait. Before that, I go with the Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Daily Peels, the red version.
Okay. The highest strength. You're doing that nightly?
Not nightly, like every other night.
Okay. I do love those. I think those peels, like when I noticed I was noticing a little texture on my forehead the other day.
She gets rid of it.
I brought out the extra strength. Gone in 2 days.
She's so good.
Yeah.
So good. So I do the extra strength, but you can build it up. Don't start with the extra strength.
Yes.
She's gonna have you feeling crazy. But I do that, and then I do the Vino Perfect. And then I go in with the Tatcha Indigo Cream.
Okay. Love it.
And she has me just drenched, gorgeous, delicious. I would normally go in with an oil. The Ola Hendrickson oil is perfect.
Okay.
And then I also, on top of that, I put on the Tatcha Dewy Mist.
I love a mist at night. It's just like bring that moisture back in.
Bring the moisture back in.
Even
and
in between skincare steps, it's nice to re-moisten your face.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Yes, because it kind of just like rehydrates everything.
I love that because sometimes I do it at the beginning and the end, or sometimes I just do it at the end. But I just want to look glowy and glossy.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad loves it. My parents are also getting into skincare right now.
I need to see that content.
No, I really will. I think they're feeling a little nervous because my parents' skin is amazing.
Yeah,
and
they do
don't
look really
really
good.
even use that much. And they're like, my mom is always like, Achieng, I've just been beautiful for a long time. So I don't know if I need this. I'm like, Mommy, you don't need it, but you can have it. But then I had to write down a list because my mom, I guess my parents, I just love them. But my mother, I had brought her, what was it? It was a sunscreen from Sol de Janeiro.
Okay.
And she wasn't reading it. She was using it as deodorant.
No.
I said, Mommy, please. She was using it as a spray. Because she was saying, Achieng, when I use this one, it smells good just for a little bit. And then when I'm done, in the middle of the day, it's not working. Mommy, because it's sunscreen. But I think it's exciting for them to also just like experience that. And my parents are just like so like I just love that they're opening up themselves
Yes.
to like all these fun new things. Like,
I feel like you've just opened up for me a good Mother's Day gift. Or Father's Day, if your
yes,
parents aren't into skincare, build them a routine, but write down the order of everything. Like, be like,
yes.
here is like the cleanser, the more like that would be a nice gift.
It is such a fabulous gift, and like my parents started getting into it because I did a little bit of a sabbatical like 2 years ago in Kenya, and I was there for a few months. And the best time for us to be like chatting was at night, and it was when I'm doing my skincare. And my parents will say, "Oh, you're doing how many of those? How many products are you using? All these things." And they would be just so into it. But then that was exciting for them that they could also just like see what I'm doing and like see what they could do. And I think it's actually a really
Yes.
beautiful gift, honestly.
Daytime, what's your go-to sunscreen?
I use Black Girl sunscreen or
Okay. The
Shishi,
matte or the OG
the
formula?
OG formula.
Dewy, glowy,
I
gorge.
I so I love a matte skincare. I love a glowy skincare and a matte makeup look.
Yes, we're on the same exact page.
Yes.
Okay, go-to makeup products for like an everyday casual glam.
An everyday casual glam, I would probably do what am I loving right now? My lips always have to be glossy, so I'm using the Topicals Slick Salve.
Gorgeous.
Love her. She is a lip treatment, but also I use her as a gloss.
Yes.
I would also do, what do I use?
Your lashes are so beautiful. Like they're so curled and
Oh,
perfect.
thanks. Oh my God, my favorite mascara is the Milk Makeup Mascara.
Okay.
She is stunning.
The one in
She
the
is
gray
gorgeous. The
tube?
one in the gray tube.
Okay.
And she just has your lashes looking absolutely like elongated and fabulous and great. I don't even curl them. They just do their work.
Beautiful.
And then for a concealer, I use the serum concealer from Lancome.
Okay.
She is makeup and she is skincare.
Love it.
And I love her.
Blush?
Blush, I use the one size. Is it called Cheek Clapper? I think that's what it's called. I can't remember
All
the
these spicy names.
I know these spicy names, but it is a gorgeous color that looks so good on dark skin, and I think it is beautiful. It's pink and beautiful and stunning. Get it. And then top that off with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and then on top of that, one size Until Dawn.
And you're set.
And I'm set. I don't like, if I'm doing like an everyday, I don't do a full face.
Yeah. You don't need it. You don't need it.
Thanks,
Now,
Diva.
which product are you going to come out with? Like, I'm ready.
Babe,
I'm ready
maybe
to buy.
you need to tell me because
I'm
there's
ready
so
to
many
buy anything from you.
Anything? Honestly,
a fragrance would be tea. Honestly.
a fragrance would be so delicious, but also champagne.
Ooh, yes, you are always having your champagne moments.
I love a good, gorgeous glass of champagne.
Yes.
And honestly, maybe champagne and some skincare champagne and some fragrance. I feel like I love smelling good. I love things that taste great. I love things that look good. And I feel like I also know things that look good, taste good, and feel good.
Yes. Okay. And earlier, before we got on the mic, you were saying that you love the Naked Beauty fragrance. Your mom took, and knowing that your mother is a woman of high standards, I'm so thrilled that she loved the fragrance.
That.
But what are your other fragrances that you love? What are Achieng's go-to fragrances?
So Maison Francaise, Cardigan, has a fabulous oud, a satin oud that is so delicious. I love Jackie Aina's Hard to Get.
Okay.
And then, listen, girls, let me tell you a little concoction I have had. I've had the Naked Beauty with a fragrance by Rosie Jane.
Oh, the by Rosie Jane.
By Rosie Jane called Missy.
Okay.
And put those two together.
Really? Okay, wait, what are the notes of the by Rosie Jane?
It is fruity. It has a little like floral fragrance to it, but it is super fruity. It feels like you're truly on vacation. Feels it's very indulgent.
I love that.
And that's what I have layered with this fragrance right here. And baby, it feels like what vacation would I say? Like you are in, baby, you are in Barbados on the beach, smelling good, skin good, eating a mango, dipping it in the water like Rihanna. It is
Yes.
stunning.
And you were, by the way, just hanging out with Rihanna
I
on
was hanging out
vacation.
with Rihanna and it was
How
stunning.
how is she to just hang out with? Like, she seems so cool,
Her aura is actually insane. I think
right?
my favorite thing is powerful women. I love powerful women. And as soon as she walked in, like she is who she is, but just the way she interacts with people, the way she moves and works a room is so insane.
It is.
She was like, I just loved talking to her. I loved hanging with her. Like, honestly, that's my best friend at this point. That's my bestie. I really, really had a good time with her. She's fabulous.
What's your go-to date night fragrance?
Oh, babe. I would probably say I like an oud. I love like a mask
Okay.
fragrance because I love power. And so and so I think I would probably just go with the like a satin oud and just keep it as that, honestly.
Yes.
I love an oud fragrance.
Love it.
Yes.
You've been very open about cosmetic procedures like your teeth,
Yes.
which you went to, I always say Turkey. I'm like my home country, Turkey. I
Yes.
claim Turkey as mine. But you went to Istanbul and you got your teeth, which they look so beautiful, by the
Thank
way. I'm
you.
always like, obviously with all things, there's a spectrum of good and bad. And the bad can like make you feel scared. Like, oh my gosh, this is such a permanent thing. I want my teeth to look really good.
Mhm.
How did you find the right people to work on your gorgeous smile?
So I had been thinking about doing my smile for a really, really, really long time.
And these are called like, give me the exact are these veneers?
Veneers,
Top and bottom?
top and bottom.
Okay, so
Yes.
full
I got the full
the full
thing
thing
done,
done.
the full
Okay.
thing done. And I was really afraid for a really long time because I felt like I was going to lose myself because my smile was very unique. And it was very much who I was. And that's how my family knew me. And that's how I knew myself. Like when I looked in the mirror, like I was like, yeah, that's me. But there was also a part of me that felt like I would feel more confident if I made this change for myself. And I think something I was, afraid of for a while was like, what would people think or what would people say? Or people will say I didn't love myself enough and decided to do this. But, I think it got to a point in my life where I was like, babe, you got to do some things for yourself. Okay. And if it makes you feel good and makes you feel like you are living your best life and makes you feel super confident, do that for you. And people will adjust. And if they don't, that has everything to do with you and nothing to do with me, Diva.
Yes.
And so I did a lot of research for many, many, many years until I decided to do this. And I found this place called Prime Dental. And, I talked to them for months.
Okay.
Honestly, I talked to them for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like being like, what do you mean? Like, what am I gonna do? What like I don't want my teeth to look at this. I don't want to feel like this. So it took a long time.
And
before I
clarification,
decided.
were you a paying customer or was there like a brand deal?
It was a brand deal.
A brand deal. Okay.
Yes.
But you felt as if they gave you the kind of care that they would give. And like, did you feel like, okay, I'm getting VIP treatment because they're doing this brand deal?
As in that too.
Yeah. Okay.
That too. But like there was some of my other friends who had gone there and had a great
Good
experience.
experiences. Okay.
And they were paying customers and
Okay.
like had
That's important.
fabulous experience. And so, when I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, I did it for my birthday. It was my first year I did a solo trip.
Yes.
Ever, because I always love celebrating myself. I want to celebrate with people. And so I was like really terrified to do this big procedure for my own birthday and as a gift. And so, when that happened, I talked about it. There was a little bit of pushback from people being like, because people were sending me crazy things. Like I was like, babe, I'm just getting my teeth done. Like I'm not like taking over like a country or something. Like, babe, I'm just going to Turkey to get my teeth done. And I'm glad I did it. I feel happier. I feel like I've always been confident, but I feel like even more confident right now. And I think when it comes to cosmetic surgery, I speak heavily about loving yourself as you are, but also talk about like if it will make you feel good, then do it. If it make you feel good and it's safe and it is good for yourself, then do it. And I think like going back to the beginning of the conversation where I was talking about like you have one life and you do not get a redo, and if that's what makes you feel good, baby, do it.
Yeah. And also to your point about not worrying what other people think, like you were thinking, oh, what are people going to say? I've
Yeah.
branded myself this way. It's like you have to kind of quiet those voices and think, what do I want?
What do you want?
Yeah.
Honestly, and I think you should always put yourself first.
Always.
Always put yourself first.
Always.
Sometimes my dad says this to me. Not sometimes. My dad says this all to me all the time. He's like, "Girl, it's all about you, Achieng. Achieng, it's all about you." And so, figure out what that means for you and how you want to live that part of your life.
Yes. You were also telling me we were just at the Sacred event.
Yes. Oh
Not
my
to
God.
flex, not to
Also,
flex.
first of all, Brooke looked heavenly.
Oh
You
my gosh,
looked
thank you.
insane. That was an outfit diva. You looked so
Thank you,
good.
thank you. You looked beautiful as well.
Thank you.
But you were saying that when you started growing your hair and doing like, because when most people saw you, we met you, you were beautiful and bald, and that was a big part of like the way you showed up and self-expressed.
Yeah.
And you said people gave you pushback when you started rocking hair.
Yeah.
Which that's surprising to me because I would think that, I don't know, as women, I feel like we have the ultimate permission slip to always change it up. Who expects us to stay the same all the time?
Yes. People were like, even till this day, anytime I change my hair, they're like, so you're not going to cut your hair, or why are you showing why aren't you like repping for bald Black women and all those things? And the thing is that like I'm still the very same.
Right.
Achieng, the best, the baddest, the one and only. You know what I mean? I'm still her. I'm still her with just a few edges. And there's nothing wrong about that. And I think the thing is that as women, we are not, especially as Black women, we're not a monolith. We could be whatever we want.
So
Okay, babe, I could shave my hair today and grow my hair tomorrow. And like for me, I had seen this video on TikTok of this lady who came up with a plant. And she said, you see this plant? I'm going to cut it. And she cut it. And she says, and I bet you she's going to grow back and better. And she brings back the plant a year after. And the plant is like grown so beautifully, like even more than it was. And for me, I feel like I have so much, especially for Black women, I think we have such interesting relationships with our hair. I cut off my hair many years ago because I felt like I needed to let go of a part of me that was connected to my locks. And I needed to feel some kind of freedom and liberty and not feel like I was hiding behind hair. And that's why I did that. And I feel like that really fulfilled a part of my life where I could just be free. You're seeing me the way I am. I have nothing on my head. You're just seeing me fully as I am. And I feel like for right now, when I'm growing my hair, it feels kind of healing. Like it's been so beautiful to go into like a hair salon or for somebody to come to my house and do my hair and talk to them and talk about like, oh, this is what you can do to grow your hair and all these things. And when I was in Kenya, my mom came and she sat with me the whole day. She took off work and sat with me the whole day as I did my hair. And it was so beautiful, and it just felt like a little healing to me because that's what my mom would do when I was younger.
Yes.
And she just didn't want to, leave my side, and she would sit there and talk to me, and she would be like, she'd sit in front of me and I'd have my legs on her and she'd be like massaging my legs, or she'd be like, what do you want to eat? And those moments were so beautiful and healing to me, and so just I needed that, and so that's what I'm associating growth
With
and hair,
hair.
and hair with like right now. And I think it's interesting that people feel the way they feel about me growing my hair, and I think that just has to do with their own traumas. And I think that's what I've had to learn as a creator, that sometimes if someone comes onto your page and throws a tantrum, it must have to do with things that are going on in their life and not you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's been so beautiful to get to know you better, to hear from you. Also, just to hear how close you are with your family. As a mom, listening to you speak about your parents makes me feel so emotional because I'm realizing how much of what I'm saying to my kids, what I'm encouraging them to do, how much that's going to change their life trajectory. Yeah, just even creating like hair memories. I spent a lot of time doing my son's hair, and my daughter's too young now. But yeah, just it's really beautiful to hear that relationship you have with your parents.
Honestly, that's really beautiful. Thank you. And like, honestly, Brooke, to give you your flowers, honestly, thank you so much for creating spaces like this for people. I think the very first time I think I really interacted with you was at an event in LA, at an Instagram event.
Yes, yes.
And that was really, really special for me. And you spoke so much life into me. And you were like, you don't even understand what you're about to do.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't even know how big you're going to get. And I remember we even did a video. And
Yes.
I just want to say thank you so much.
That's
It is
of course.
exciting that there's women like you that exist. And it's exciting that you have created such beautiful spaces for people to come and say their stories and speak, and you're just fabulous and gorgeous and more life to me, babe.
Thank you
I
so
love you
much.
so much.
Well, I have to ask you my final question that I ask everyone who comes on Naked Beauty, which is, when do you feel most beautiful?
La 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 la. I would say, I think I feel. I don't know. I think I always feel beautiful. I don't know if
Is there a time of day, a setting,
a
where you just
setting.
feel like,
I think I feel most beautiful when I'm around people who know me, and especially my family. Yes, I'm very, very, very in love with my family. They've been such pillars for me, and people who have really made me who I am today. I am because they are. And it's exciting to be with people like that. So I'd say I feel like most beautiful when I am with my tribe.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that. Thank you so much, Achieng. We will continue to see your ascent and cheer you on every step of the way.
Thank you. Yay!
Amazing.